Hey everyone, how you doing today? As promised in the last couple of daily financial news, what are we doing this Sunday? We are talking to students. We're figuring out where they have questions so I can improve how I help people. And interview number 2 today in the 9 a.m. slot is Roy and Shalene. How you two doing today?
Doing great, man. Thank you.
Excellent,
Appreciate you doing
excellent.
this with us.
So a quick favor, introduce yourself, where you're at, what you're doing, where do you fit in this whole world of real estate investing?
That's you.
Oh, well, okay. This is my love of my life, Roy. We met 3 years ago, and I'm Shalene. We live here in Las Vegas. I was born and raised here, been here most of my life. And when we both met, we were in a position where we both had really good jobs, and we were combining our lives and getting to know each other and creating a whole new life. And the pandemic hit.
Go figure.
And yeah, and Roy lost his job with the corporation that he's with, and we decided that it's time to change our whole lives because it was time to practice what we preached, what we taught our kids, get passive income, do all the things that we were told to do that we didn't do. And we're sitting back and we're like, well, where do we start? And how do we do this? And what do we want to do? And fortunately, we found your channel and started watching it. And I have to backtrack a little bit because I had actually years ago, pre-recession, I had a very large business, a $30,000 a month overhead. I had started playing with real estate back then. I signed up for one of those big courses and spent $5,000 on it and was going to do it back then. And then the recession hit and I lost everything. I went through bankruptcy. And so I have struggled to rebuild, but the thing that I thought of back then is they had all that pie in the sky stuff that they were teaching me, and I couldn't do any of it. It didn't work. And when, for lack of a better word, the shit hit the fan, they never picked up the phone. They never emailed me. They just took my money and ran. And I was like, okay, do I do this again? Where do I start? And we both have a real estate background.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh.
And I had a similar institute. I was an investor a long time ago, back in I guess in the 90s.
Okay.
And I still remember real estate and investing in the 80s, which was kind of a lot different than it is now. Oh, yeah. For sure. And I did the same thing. I actually signed up for courses and signed up for expensive programs to try to learn how to do real estate right, especially the rentals. And similar situation. People took our money and never got it. But I don't know, he seemed to have an honest face. So we we kind of gravitated towards you. We watch you every single day. And we decided to sign up for the course awesome. Because of that, because we listened to you for a long time before we signed up and said, this guy, he's a real deal. At least that's what we thought. And that's why we wanted to learn from you and actually become a part of your group.
That's awesome. That's great to hear that, first and foremost, my mom's going to watch this video, so she's going to appreciate that you said I have an honest face. Shout out, Mom. Nice job, Mom. Appreciate it.
Well, we were also big fans of Jimbo, so we were sad to see you go. I know, and our hearts were with you when that day.
Oh, that was a bad day. I tried, but that was a bad day. I don't want to go back to that day. That was a hard daily financial news to try.
No, we understand. We understand completely there.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, he's I miss him every morning. He was a big part of my morning routine, but yeah, almost 16 years. So he was a great puppy. So thank you for that. So now that you found us, now you're getting into the game, you're in the course. Where have you started? Are you looking to invest in Vegas, or where's the kind of focus, or you're not sure yet?
That's why we need help. We need help doing that. See,
okay.
Again, I don't know, should we?
Well, we finally got it all together. I've got my credit repaired. I've got some money saved up.
Nice.
And now I'm priced out of the market.
Yeah,
Vegas.
Vegas is wonky, man. It's crazy.
And I've watched the roller coaster through Vegas all my life. So I know we're going to go down a little bit. We're going to go, and I have a lot of faith in the market in Vegas. Mm-hmm. But I know right now what I've discovered is there is no way at this time I can afford a house in Vegas. I don't make that kind of money anymore, and neither does Roy. We both have gone back to work, fortunately, but not in the same industries, not making the same money, and so we're going to have to branch out. And that's also what we liked about your program was with the Facebook group. I've been watching what people are saying. And I think this is a family. This is not some person talking to me on the phone once a week, which is what I had with the expensive one, telling me what to do. I can reach out to somebody in another state, and I like that idea. And somebody can reach out to me here in Vegas and say, hey, what's that house look like out over on Jones Street or whatever, you know, and I can tell them. So I think we're going to have to, because my goal is 4 in 2 years.
Nice.
I don't care how it is, but that's my goal, 4 in 2 years.
2 years. I love that.
So
okay.
I think we've got to branch out.
Okay. So I love this. This is what I was hoping to get from these calls today. So have you started building a spreadsheet? Did you start in Vegas? Like, hey, we've tried it, the numbers don't work, or where's that?
I haven't actually even started the spreadsheet. I just brought the course 2 weeks ago. I've been going through the videos, but we're in real estate, so we've been watching this market. I mean, as soon as COVID hit, we thought, maybe now's the time to jump in.
Well, it's really funny because we actually help people, investors, and that's what we do.
That's awesome.
We got some investors that we help out. Being in the industry, we said, you know what, we need to get in on this also.
Yeah. So this is probably what I would recommend as a step one, right? I think, again, I've said this to others, but we'll get this on video, right? What I'm trying to teach with the course and the whole one rental at a time mindset is I'm trying to teach you a skill that you can use for the rest of your life. So you happen to be in Vegas, you're in the industry, so you're going to be able to learn Vegas the fastest, right? So what that means to me is you are in the right opportunity where you could learn the skill in, say, 45 to 60 days. So what I would tell you to do, just like the course talks about, pick a zip code in Vegas or in a surrounding area, somewhere where you could drive to, kick rocks, do all of that stuff. And then do the daily activity that the course talks about. Not because you're hoping to buy there, but you're hoping to answer the most important question, which I believe is, what is average? Because that's all I'm teaching. By doing the daily work, by creating focus, you're creating energy and motion, and you're compounding your learnings so that you could tell each other and others what is average in this location. Because once you know average, the world is your oyster. Because once you know average, you can only focus on good or great deals. Before you know average, no pun intended, you're gambling, right? You're walking in, the dealer shows 2 and, you're sitting on 16. What do, right? Well, the book says you don't hit, right? But you're still gambling and the house wins eventually. But if you know average and you learn the skill of doing that, you can then replicate it anywhere. When you can, I recommend new students learn the skill in a market that's close to them, because you can kick rocks, you can talk to people live, you can do walkthroughs. You build that comfort. And then once you do that, and you'll know you've done it, because at some point, day 55 or day 37 or day 92, you'll go, Roy, that's a great deal. And it's not a great deal like you're going to buy it. Maybe you learn that Vegas is a terrible market and average is 1%. But at some point, you're going to go, damn it, Roy, that one's 2.5. In my model, a 2.5 in a 1% market is a great deal. And that will be a light bulb. That is a day to celebrate. You're like, damn it, I got it. I know what he's talking about. Then you can go, hey, I've got the skill. I can repeat what I did for 37 or 62 or 91 days anywhere in the country and, frankly, the world. So your first step, find your focus and hit it every day. That make sense?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gosh, that's great. Thank you.
That's what we needed, because we were thinking, well, should we start trying to look outside our market?
Nope.
And try to
wrong answer.
Okay.
For most people, it's the wrong answer.
Develop the skills. Yeah, exactly. That's important. Okay.
Yeah. And again, I will celebrate your 2 success the day you come to me and go, Michael, you're right. I found a 2.5, and I'm just making these numbers up. I found a 2.5 in a 1% market. It's not that you're going to buy it. I'm going to celebrate that you have the skill to find a great deal in any market. And you can't find a great deal until you know average. All these people that hit me up and go, hey, I found this one-off Bluebird super special Uber deal, and they say it's great. Well, how do you know it's great? Have you done the work? I mean, it's, you know, it's like you walked into a casino and you hit blackjack once. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't sound like a hot deck of cards to me, right? You're going to get smoked when they take your money the next 5 hands.
Well, yeah, and that's what the whole casinos, that's how they were
Yeah.
operate. One person wins, you're a gambler for life. You
Yeah,
know?
I feel bad for the people that make money or win in Vegas the first trip, because the rest of their life they're going to pay the piper, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Crazy. Yeah. So I'm very excited for you, but I want to give you guys permission. And I seriously, I would go sit down somewhere else, maybe sip some wine outside, whatever you want to do. And given you're in the industry, I would get hyper focused. Honey, what's going to be our one search every day for 60 days? And here's Vegas is weird because it's a pretty hot market, no inventory. So again, what you want to do is you want to pick a criteria where there's somewhere between 20 and 40 active listings. Right? So what could criteria look like? Well, probably you're going to pick single family homes. So that takes away condos and multifamily and all of that stuff. Then what you're going to do is you're going to probably, well, you'll pick a zip code first. Then you're going to pick house. Then you're going to probably pick size or price point or something, right? But I would definitely make it something you could drive to comfortably. You would enjoy going there on the weekends or once in, you know, just to drive around to get comfort. Go to all the open houses that are in that little area that fit your criteria, because it is about building that consistent momentum. But yeah, go make that a joint conversation. Have fun with it. You know, what's too big, Roy? What's too small, right? All of these discussions. But yeah, and then hit it every day, update the spread. And again, I would update the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet that's in the course, it's very simplistic. I think it's got like 12 or 13 columns. Make it yours, right? Maybe in Vegas, you have things I've never thought about, like 100% desert landscaping versus those idiots have a lawn, or, you know, make it yours. Right. But yeah, hit it and then update it. Right. Oh, we saw this one on Monday. God damn it. Thursday, it's already pending. That's a change. You're trying to get a vibe for the market for your little focused area.
Yeah, we can do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. Of course.
And
All right.
And we'd absolutely love to, you and your family, the whole tribe, one rental at a time tribe, to join us on this journey if they want to. You know, we're more than happy to share our experiences with.
That's very
stumbling through the beginning of this with everybody.
Yeah, no, share with the Facebook group, introduce yourself if you haven't already. Like you said, the Facebook group is I call it the most positive place on the internet. And frankly, I would delete my personal account on Facebook if it wouldn't remove that business account. But sadly, I can't. So I still have a Facebook page. But yeah, share away, ask questions. I just love the more and more positive nature, and it's built every week. It builds. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So.
It is nice. It's so much nicer than what we've experienced before, because real estate can be such a dog eat dog business.
Absolutely.
And it's nice to have a tribe, you know,
yeah.
happy tribe.
I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things that I've learned for doing this 20 years, and again, people always ask me, like, Michael, why do you talk about Fresno so much? Aren't you creating competition? I guess at some level. And yes, I have bumped into students and others over the years on houses, but it is far better to build your network of positive people, because my network, like for example, in 2020, I got no deals on the MLS for the first time ever, because it was just highly competitive, but I still closed, I think it was 6 or 7 transactions, all from my network, from other investors. So yeah, it is definitely an abundance mindset versus scarcity. And plus the world's just a better place when you're happy. Right. So I'm a big believer in that. Again, thanks, Mom, for that mindset. I appreciate you.
It's so true. We actually, you know, the pandemic is a horrible thing, and it's devastated so much, but we say all the time, it's been a blessing for us.
Yeah,
it made us refocus our lives and realize that we were back. We had jumped back into that whole working 60 hours a week and no lives. And when the pandemic made us stop, literally stop.
Yeah, Vegas. Yeah, literally stop.
We both went, oh, hey, you know what? This is the life we're supposed to be living right now, you know. And we refocused everything, and it's been a blessing for us.
That's awesome.
You know, yeah. So
I love to hear that.
We're hoping that we can then turn it into a blessing for our families, because these rentals ultimately, will be passive income for us, so that because we want to retire and we ultimately want to live out of the country, but we want to be able to give our kids something. Roy has 6 kids, I have 2. We want them to have something, you know, we don't want them to struggle and work 60 hours a week like we do. My daughter already does. She's an EMT and a single mom.
Wow.
She works so many hours. She has very little time for her daughter. And it's like, nah, I want to give them something so that they don't have to work like we did and they don't have to struggle.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that. Why for both of you is something you will hold on to. Your why is very clear. It's not this shaky, I want to be rich or I want a Lambo or some stupid thing like that. Oh, you can feel your why through the Zoom call. So there's no
we've
question.
been there. We've been there with the big houses and fancy cars, and we learned when we lost it
Yeah.
all in the recession. We learned to,
No, you don't need that. You really don't.
Amen to that.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. So what other questions or what other things you think I can help you with as we move forward to your goal of getting 4 in 2 years?
Okay, so our other area that we're thinking about is financing, because
Sure.
Both our incomes took a huge hit. So, and I'm in now a whole different industry than I've ever been in. So qualifying is going to be totally difficult for me. But we do have equity in this house.
Okay.
And we have thought about using that equity. We know it's a risk. I
Yeah.
mean, we both lost our houses in the recession, so we know it's a risk.
Yep.
But we're thinking, do we pull that 100,000 out and take that risk for the potential gains and the freedom that we can get from it? Is a lot better for us than being locked into this house.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to live in this house for the rest of our lives. We're already ready to move. So
Okay. Now ready to move, meaning you would eventually sell it and call it good, or you think this could be a rental for you in the future? Just, I don't know how big or nice
We're
it
not
is.
sure right now. We're still debating that.
Okay.
But you know,
So you could keep it as an option. It's not like this is
I bought
gone.
this before the market escalated. So that, you know, I bought it at a great time, and so we were blessed with the equity in this house.
Yeah. So my general feeling of putting your primary resident at risk is far more conservative than probably most people. My general rule is, and again, this is because when I was growing up, I remember packing up. I was 12 or 13, packing up the house because we were like 24 hours away from having the bank take it, right? It was enough of a traumatic event for a kid to realize that, oh shoot, I'm going to have to go live in Michigan, which I've never been to at that time. And I'm like, don't want to do that. Right. But anyways, so I don't like the idea of doing that. But there are times it makes sense. Like I would leverage the capital in my house to buy something where I could have a plan to pay back the equity line. I would ideally like it in 12 months. In the environment we're in today, I would accept 24, but I think I wouldn't just, hey, let's use the 100 grand as a piggy bank. We'll just pay it forever and eventually it'll pay off, or we'll sell it and call it good. Because there's interest rate risk. There's all kinds of things that could happen because that's typically a variable interest rate loan. And oh, by the way, I like to reuse my capital. So let's just say you had 100 grand, I would only put it into a deal, and it would probably have to be a fixer, or what people call a BRRRR today, where with sweat equity or buying right or whatever, you could eventually go back and refi, get that capital back, or at least the majority of it, and then pay that equity line back. That would be acceptable. But I wouldn't say go take the 100, go buy 3 properties, and then you two struggle to make that payment, forever. I like a concrete plan. Like you two talk, you say, hey, Roy, this is the one we want, but we're going to pay it back in 14 months. And this is how we're going to pay it back. You got to have that concrete plan of how to pay it back. Not just no wishful thinking in my world. It's going to be, you know what? We're buying this house in this area. It's a heavy fixer. We're going to add a master. I mean, I don't know what you would do to it, but we're going to go get the money back in a refi in 9 months. I'd be okay with that. Okay. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Does that make sense?
I like having the concrete, because one of the things that why we're in the position we're in at the age we're at is because we didn't have concrete. We always, there's more time, there's more time, there's more time, and life got in the way. And I knew these principles when I was 20 years old. I just let life, I never set those deadlines. And so I think that I like that idea a lot. We need to make sure that we set a deadline and and hold ourselves accountable to it to get that paid back so that
Yeah.
we don't put this house at risk.
Yeah. And then again, I mean, worst case scenario, whatever happened, I would sell the rental first to pay it back. Cause again, in my world, never put the home right where you rest your heads at night as a couple at risk. And if that means taking a rental and selling it so you can pay back the line, because who knows, maybe rates spike and suddenly then it becomes an alligator, as you probably read in my book. Yeah, again, you protect your home.
Definitely. Okay. We're going to look at that way too.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool.
Because that's been a big thing for us. We've like, do we really want to do that risk? Because I, like you, when I was a kid, my parents lost their home, and then my kids went through it when I lost my home, and it's like, fortunately, we don't have to deal with kids.
No, not at all. This is our time.
There you go.
But we also don't want to get into the position thinking of our time. We don't want to get in a position where we're locked down so heavy with all these things going on that we can't enjoy our lives now and travel and
take the lesson from the pandemic. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy
So
life.
we want to make sure we set it up so that it takes care of itself almost.
Amen.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But I think that's two awesome steps for us to look at. That's where we're going to start and just focus on those two areas right now. Figuring out our plan for using our capital and getting our skills.
Yes.
Before we even find the property, getting our skills honed down first.
Yeah, because I think what you're going to learn, right? Let's just assume it takes you 90 days. And I think you're in the industry, so it'll probably be less, but let's just say it takes 90 days for you to have that aha moment together. Then it's about where you want to go, right? I guess that, I don't know if we were recording at the time, but you did highlight, I forget if we were recording, it was during the intro. You mentioned your two's vision is eventually you're going to live out of the country, right? Just because we have some more time, do you have a kind of a like, hey, that's in the next 10 years or the next 5 years, or have you talked about when? 2 years. Hence the get 4 in 2 years. I'm starting to see the plan. It's all being tied together.
More. We want to accelerate this puppy.
If we could go now, we'd be gone now.
Exactly. We were spoiled by the pandemic then. We were actually in retirement in the summer of last year. So we still remember that great feeling of being in that mode.
Okay. All right. So out of the country full time, not like have a place here and you're done. You're out.
Well, we would probably keep our place here because we have family here, and I have thyroid cancer, so I will need to keep touch with here for medical, So we'll keep a place here. Probably this house that we're in now is going to stay our primary focus.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. So I was just trying to play it out for me in my mind, given we had some more time, about where you might look. When I don't know, I mean, I've been to Vegas 200 times in my life, but I have no idea what's like 90 minutes from Vegas. Is there anything, or is it just desert all of a sudden?
No, there's actually Pahrump. There's Laughlin is an hour and a half away. Although Laughlin is kind of I would avoid Laughlin.
Yeah,
but Pahrump is a fairly easy trip as far as, other than that, you go up into Moapa Valley, you head up into Mesquite.
So let's talk about Pahrump. Just again, I know nothing about the area.
We'll give you an idea where Pahrump is. It's on the way to Death Valley, so it's almost to the border of California.
Oh, so it's kind of like between Vegas and LA, if you will.
Yeah, except for most people go through I-15. This is going another route.
Okay. How big is it? Like 50,000 people, or I have no idea.
Oh, I don't remember now.
I don't know either.
It's growing though. It is growing rapidly.
I would think. I mean, those are the things I'm thinking about, right? Because obviously in my story, I found great success 2.5 hours away from a crazy expensive market. And I would clearly throw Vegas into a crazy expensive market. But again, this is not permission to look there yet. I'm just trying to play it out, right? Don't get distracted. You have to build a skill. And let's just talk about this, right? Let's just say, for example, you didn't listen to me and you said, hey, we're going to pick this little zip code in Vegas, this size. And oh, by the way, honey, we got time. We're in the industry. We're going to look at Pahrump also. I'm not saying you're going to do this, but let's just pretend it happened. You're suddenly going to get confused and you're going to learn nothing, because I'm guessing houses in Pahrump are cheaper.
Yes.
I'm guessing they are different ages. I'm guessing there are different rents, and you are going to create confusion and get nowhere. That would be bad. Learn Vegas first, have the aha moment, and then start in Pahrump.
I'm so glad you said that, because actually last night we were going, maybe we should look at Pahrump too, and so you just smacked our hands and set us back down.
I smacked lots of people's hands.
Well, we did take your advice though, that we actually looked at zip codes that were more, within our range and everything like that. So yeah, we actually had this discussion last night, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's
we were gonna start exploring Pahrump, and I was gonna look at both. So yeah, no, I won't.
And
do
just to
that.
be
I
clear, if for whatever reason you guys get off this call and you go, no, we're going to go to Pahrump, you can go to Pahrump first, but realize then you have more day trips and all of that stuff. I'm not telling you have to pick Vegas, but pick one, because anytime somebody goes, I mean, I hate it when students go, I'm going to pick this one here, I'm going to pick this one in another state. Your spreadsheet's going to be nonsense. You're not going to learn anything. It's going to create so much. You're going to get, instead of getting positive compounding, you're going to get negative compounding, and you'll be nowhere in 60 days, and you're going to be all frustrated and upset.
No, that makes perfect sense.
It
No,
does,
perfect timing. You could not have hit the nail on the head better on that one. I kid you not.
Yes.
Literally just last night, we would have done that if we hadn't had this call. We would have done that because we thought that made sense, because we've been priced out of this market. So we thought it made sense to look at both. So we're going to pull that back, and we're just going to hone our
And it's
skill
only
set further.
60 or 90 days. It's only, I mean, it's, and again, this is another thing that I hear from new students is, Michael, it only takes me 20 minutes now. I'm like, good, go enjoy life, go to the gym, go for a walk.
Yeah.
It's okay. It takes time to build this up. It's like people want to spend 4 hours on the internet. Stop it. Right? It'll take you a half hour the first week or 45 minutes as you build your version of your spreadsheet. But then by day 12 or day 19 or day 27, it'll be 10 minutes. And you're like, what else do I do? You're done. Move on with your life. It's okay. You have permission to live.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like that.
That's great.
We're putting in 50 and 60 hours a week with work. We don't need to be putting in another 50 and 60 hours. We need our time.
And again, last thing, you've probably heard me say it, is daily. I don't want to hear about you two going, you know what? Well, we spend 4 hours every Saturday together and we just do it then. That doesn't give you the flow that I'm looking for.
You can't do that here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Properties are selling before they're even on the market, and they've got 50 offers, and people are going 20, 30, 40,000 over asking. This market, you have to be looking at it daily.
Yeah.
So we already have you as our morning routine, our morning coffee. So we'll watch you, and then we'll do our 20 minutes or half an hour, and then go on with our day. That's
and you have full permission just to, because then what'll happen is, like, every week or so, you guys will be walking, like, what'd you see this week? What'd you learn? Because, and again, I would definitely have that conversation, because each of you will look at them differently. You'll probably all talk about yield, because that is a metric that is a number, which you can't argue with. But then you'll say, I think this one, I think that one. And that conversation you have while you walk or whatever you do together will be it'll be fun for both of you to have.
I think so. Thank you. You set us on because we were already going the wrong way. So you set us on the right path.
That's awesome. Cool. All right. Any other questions you guys came in that you want to talk about? This has been a lot of fun for me.
I can't think of anything. Can you? I mean, you've already given us so much, and we really appreciate this one-on-one time with you.
Of course.
More than we can express. We really, this is, we're honored to be a part of this with you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for reaching out. Share your journey in the Facebook group. Keep being positive, people. Have fun. Don't get stressed out. I know Vegas is expensive. Remember, you're not trying to buy in Vegas. You're trying to learn a skill. Have fun with it. Enjoy. It may feel uncomfortable the first couple of weeks, but the positive learnings will compound, and let us know how it's going.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we just have to get rid of the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Stay on that path. We're going to have you hold us accountable to staying on that path, because we want to follow exactly what you just told us.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I will save this video. It will be uploaded later today so others can watch.
Good. And I hope if anybody wants to reach out on Facebook, I'm going to post my message in there, and I'd love to meet more people and share our journeys. I think it's an awesome idea. I
think people will love to speak with you. Lots of students are talking about Vegas. So I think you two will be very, you'll have lots of new friends.
Awesome.
Absolutely. We're here to help anybody that, that wants to. That's what we're all about.
Thank you. Have a
Even if
wonderful
they
day.
just want- Even if they just want crazy stories about Vegas, I got
You got a few? Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
take care, Mike. Thanks a
Bye.
lot again.
Uh-huh.